Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, starring Robert Downey Jr., Val Kilmer, and Michelle Monaghan, directed by Shane Black. Now, before I get into this, I have seen this movie before, and what do I think of it? I remember I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw when it was new on DVD at the time, and it might be the same thing as I think of it now, but I don't know. As let's get into the movie. I haven't seen it in a while, so let's get in. We get Harry Lockhart as a kid performing a magic trick on Harmony Faith Lane as also a kid, and it almost goes wrong until they open the box and she says she's going to be an actress and get through opening credits, and after they're done we go to a Los Angeles party where with Harry as an adult played by Robert Downey Jr. before he was ever Iron Man, as he knew a narrator he, as he's now a narrator, and we get introduced to him and Gabe Perry, played by Val Kilmer. And the reason that's what it was said on the IMDb was because he's a gay man. I'll just say that much. And he has to go back to where he was at before the party as a robber of a toy store and almost gets himself killed until Harry auditions for an upcoming role, and he nails the audition tremendously and gets a role of an acting career. It would get back to the party while narrating about Harmony as an adult, played by Michelle Monaghan, and explains where she grew up in Indiana and always wanted to be an actress. Sound familiar? And I really like the characters as their dialogue was tremendously written. Harry continues narrating as Harmony as an adult gets someone who is an actor in a robot costume killed, as she happens to be at the same party as Harry and sees a book she read as a kid in a house at the party, and she lies down and rests herself until some asshole tries to touch her inappropriately, and Harry comes in and gets beat up about it until Perry comes in and helps him heal while meeting with Harlan Dexter, played by Corbin Burnson, whom I know in an episode of Seinfeld as a cameo. As Perry gives Harry the idea of being a private detective for him, and Harry follows Harmony to a bar and talks with her, and she wonders why she and her friend come in as she teases him until she recognizes him, and he goes back to the opening scene as they grew up together in Indiana. And the acting by Robert Downey Jr., Val Kilmer, and Michelle Monaghan was very good in this movie, as they're fun to watch. Harry gets back home realizing he slept with Harmony's friend and doesn't remember what the fuck happened in the middle of the night, as he comes to her house at 6 a.m. and she's pissed off, and we move on to Harry and Perry, funny that it rhymes, doing some private detective work as a car gets in the water, and Harry tries to save people as he does while Perry helps get a woman out of the water, and she's dead, and his sarcasm was an interesting choice by Val Kilmer. And the script is well done as writer-director Shane Black makes these characters a hell of a lot of fun. But remember, I was kind of harsh on one of his writing works in Lethal Weapon, but he turns in better work here than in that film. And this is a better directing job than Iron Man 3 and The Predator, in my opinion, as he did write the first Predator, but not direct the first one. He directed the Predator. Never mind. Perry drops Harry off while he forgot his cell phone in the car as a cop calls him and asks if he knows Harmony, and he says he does as he worries about her, and she gets out of the hospital and learns her sister is dead, and she tells Harry all about how she's murdered, the sister I mean, and she asks for Harry to help her out as she faints, which was pretty damn funny, as this movie's pretty funny in a ha-ha kind of way at times. While Harry finds a spider on Harmony's breast, and she wakes up and says it's no big deal, and honestly, I find that a very big motherfucking deal, as that's a fucking serious thing to do, as Harry admits it and takes a leak in the bathroom, and finds Harmony's sister's dead body while she leaves, and he calls Perry to do something about the body, and the charisma is very good in this, as they make a great team. Harry and Perry gets the body out of there by throwing it in the trash can and pick it up, and Perry kisses Harry as the cops pass by while they're looking for Harry and Perry, and Harmony finds them doing so, and the next day comes, and Harry and Harmony talk about the case until Perry tells Harry to look at the TV and see with Harmony their suspect is Harlan Dexter and Chan on the top of a building, and the shots work for this movie as the cinematography is pretty damn good. While Perry tells Harry about Colin Farrell wanting too much money as he won't get the part, and Harry slaps Perry like a sissy bitch and tells him to get the fuck out of Los Angeles and bumps into a friend of Harmony's and learns she doesn't want to talk to him, and he comes to her house and she cuts off his fucking finger and learns it was Harlan Dexter who murdered Harmony's sister, which is earned by the script, as this is a very smart script from start to finish. Harry goes to a party Harmony works at, and she explains her theories about the case as she patronizes him by making everybody hate on Harry, and Perry comes in, and they see Harlan Dexter as a younger man, and Harmony knew he looked familiar as she's met him before back in the day. And Harmony gets back to work and gets picked up by a couple of criminals as they torture Harry and is warned Los Angeles doesn't want him anymore as they break his finger, the one that's already been broken. And Harmony takes Harry to the hospital until she finds the criminals and saves Perry's life. And she gets out of the car and follows them to save Perry's life as a woman gets in the car to escape, while Harmony saves Perry's life and follows Perry and one of the criminals after she knocks one out. And this can get fun and intense at the same time, and this is a well-written script. Harry wakes up at a house of the woman who stole the car earlier in the last scene, and she's with the criminal that beat him up a couple of minutes ago, and he shoots her dead as Harry was a witness to it and shoots the motherfucker dead while he's still injured, and he puts his finger on ice and sees the dog taking it and swallowing it up as Perry calls Harry, and at the end of the scene, Harry pets the doggy as he's crying. But I felt so bad for not only the doggy in that scene, but I felt bad for Robert Downey Jr. for losing his finger in the movie, not in real life. I'm not talking about real life. I mean in the movie, after putting it on ice, as he talks with Perry and Harmony about the case, and Perry decides to not get involved with Harmony's case. And afterhand, Harmony and Harry have an argument until he confesses to her he's a thief, and we get his backstory, and that was a perfect time to earn that moment of the film, as she forgives him, and their chemistry is pretty good between Robert Downey Jr. and Michelle Monaghan. Harmony sleeps in Harry's bed in his apartment as he joins her there, and they smooch, and next thing you know, he kicks her out of his apartment, and they argue, which felt random for damn sure. And she asks if Harlan Dexter's daughter Veronica has been raped. Yes, I went there. I don't know why. Not one of my favorite words. And she gets kidnapped, and Perry picks up Harry and takes him to a crime scene, which is at a hospital, as they leave, which is random and fucking funny in a ha-ha kind of way. They encounter the criminal who beat up Harry, and Perry taking the gun from the criminal as they ask him where Harmony is, and Perry breaks the criminal's nose, and Harry plays the game where he puts a bullet with an 8% chance that the criminal will die, as he shoots him in the fucking head, and Harlan Dexter and another bad guy capture Perry and Harry, and Harmony calls, and the bad guy throws the phone, and Harry catches it saying they're in trouble, and Harlan Dexter has them. And we move on to a torture scene for Harry and Perry, getting shocked as Perry has a hidden gun in his pants, and Harmony steals the bad guy's truck. And the bad guy's tail, and the bad guys are on Harmony's tail. And this action scene reminded me of the first Lethal Weapon, where Mel Gibson has a shootout in the middle of the highway. So it was a somewhat nice callback, I guess. And they get shot as Harry comes back to life, but Perry is somewhat dead, and he's just unconscious. I hope that's the truth, because they go back and forth with this. And Harry jumps to Harmony as he almost gets killed and shoots Harlan Dexter dead, as well as the bad guys, and that was an interesting but funny choice. But that's how it works well for a Shane Black movie. Harry was shot as he's taken to the hospital by Harmony and Perry happening to be there, and brings everybody who was shot in the hospital earlier in the movie as they walk into the room, and Perry explains to Harmony Harlan Dexter didn't kill his sister, but they explain who the fuck did as they talk way too fucking quick to a point I can't understand a damn word they're saying. As Harry walks Perry to his hospital room, and they go back to Indiana for a funeral, as we see Perry and Harmony's father, who killed and Harmony's father killed her sister, as Perry slaps him around and leaves the room, and Harry finishes narrating the movie as he thanks the audience for coming to see this movie. And Perry comes in and tells the audience as well as Harry to say goodbye to the movie, as the climax was funny in a buddy team kind of way, as Shane Black does it best. But how much did I have fun with the movie? Let's talk about it. And a rating. I'll give this movie a 8.4 out of 10. I really like the characters, as their dialogue is tremendously written, and the acting by Robert Downey Jr., Val Kilmer, and Michelle Monaghan was very good in this movie, as they're a ton of fun to watch, while writer-director Shane Black makes these characters a hell of a lot of fun, as he'll work with Robert Downey Jr. again in a movie I've reviewed before, Iron Man 3, as this is a better directorial film than that film in The Predator, which was terrible, which was a terrible film, as this is one of his best movies, and we'll see how The Nice Guys goes next time. The charisma between the characters was very good, as Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer make a great team, and this is a very smart script from start to finish, and this movie is fun and intense at the same time. Again, well-written script, and the chemistry between Robert Downey Jr. and Michelle Monaghan is pretty good, as this is a very good movie, and this is a solid recommendation for this movie, as Shane Black can entertain me, as his next film hopefully is as good, as maybe even better, who knows, as I haven't seen it in a while, so we'll see, but as far as this movie goes, I had fun with it from start to finish. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and next time I will be back with The Nice Guys. And until then, buddy cop movies are